Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Podcast English Class.
Hi, everyone. If this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you've been learning with us for a while, thank you for coming back. Before we start, Mike, can I ask you something? How are you feeling right now?
Honestly, pretty calm. But I know some days don't feel that easy.
That's why today's topic matters. We're talking about sad moments.
And learning how to talk about those feelings in simple, everyday English.
Now, we'd love to hear from you. How are you feeling at this moment?
If you feel comfortable, write one short sentence in the comments about your mood right now.
We'd love to read it. Let's start learning together.
So, Jessica, when we say sad moments, I want to be clear. We're not only talking about big, serious problems.
Exactly. Sadness doesn't always arrive with a loud sound. Sometimes it comes quietly, in very normal situations.
That's such an important point for English learners. Many people think they need a big story to talk about feelings.
But real life isn't like that. Most sad moments are actually small and very ordinary.
You know, just yesterday morning I felt a little low for no big reason at all. I woke up later than usual, missed my bus, and spilled coffee on my shirt. Nothing serious happened, but all those small things together made the day feel heavier. Shirt. Nothing serious happened, but all those small things together made the day feel heavier.
That's such a real feeling. It shows that sadness doesn't always come from something dramatic. Sometimes it's just life being a bit messy, and that's completely normal.
And moments like that are perfect for practicing English. You don't need complicated words.
Right. In that situation, you could simply say, I feel a bit sad today, or I'm not feeling very happy.
Those sentences are short, clear, and very natural.
And most importantly, they're honest. You're not hiding how you feel, but you're also not over-explaining.
I think that's comforting for learners. You don't have to sound perfect when you talk about emotions.
Yes, feelings don't need perfect grammar. They just need real words.
Another thing I like about starting with small sadness is that it feels safe.
Safe is the right word. When sadness feels safe, people are more willing to talk about it.
And once you can talk about small, sad moments, bigger conversations become easier later.
That's why today is about building a foundation. Simple feelings, simple sentences.
So if you're listening right now and thinking, my sadness isn't that big, that's okay.
It still matters. Your feelings still matter.
And English can be a tool to gently share those feelings, one small sentence at a time.
Exactly. We're not rushing. We're just learning how to be honest, calm, and kind, with our words and with ourselves.
So after talking about small, everyday sadness, I think the next step is helping people recognize where those feelings come from.
I agree. Many learners feel sad, but don't always know why, and that can make it harder to talk about.
Yes, sometimes the feeling is there before the reason is clear.
Exactly. You might wake up feeling a little heavy, but nothing bad has happened yet.
And that's very common. Feelings don't always follow logic.
That's why it helps to slow down and ask yourself gentle questions.
Like, what happened today? Or what am I thinking about right now?
Or even, did something small disappoint me?
This is important for English learners because once you notice the reason, you can name it.
And naming it makes it less confusing.
For example, if your plan didn't work out, you might realize, oh, I'm disappointed.
Or if you haven't talked to anyone all day, you might think, I feel a bit lonely.
These are very different feelings, but they can both feel like sadness at first.
Yes, and English gives us different words to separate them.
That separation is powerful. It helps you understand yourself better.
And it also helps other people understand you.
Instead of just saying, I'm sad, you can say, I'm sad because my plans changed.
Or, I feel lonely today because I really miss my family.
Notice how those sentences are still simple.
Simple, but clear. You're adding just one reason.
And you don't have to explain everything.
Right. One short reason is enough to open the door.
I think many learners worry they need a long explanation.
But real conversations don't work like that.
Most people just want to understand the feeling, not every detail.
Exactly. When you say why you feel sad, even in one sentence, it creates connection. And in one sentence, it creates connection.
The other person can respond more naturally.
They might say, "That makes sense," or "I understand."
And hearing that can already make you feel a little better.
It also helps you feel seen.
Yes, and being seen is often more important than fixing the problem.
That's a really important lesson, not just for English, but for life.
So if you're listening, maybe try this today.
When you feel a little sad, pause for a moment.
Ask yourself one simple question. Why might I feel this way?
Then try to say it in one short English sentence.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
It just has to be honest.
And that honesty is where real communication begins. In the last part, we talked about naming your sadness and giving it a simple reason. Naming your sadness and giving it a simple reason.
Yes, and once you can say it, the next step feels very natural, sharing it with someone.
This is where many learners hesitate, not because of English, but because of fear.
Fear of bothering others, or fear of sounding weak.
Or fear of not knowing the right words.
But here's something important. When you share sadness, the goal is not to fix it.
Exactly. You're not giving a report. You're just opening a small window.
And even a very small sentence can do that.
For example, you might say, "I'm feeling a bit down today."
Or, "I had a bad day."
Those sentences don't ask for advice.
They simply invite connection.
And most of the time, people respond kindly.
Yes, they might say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that."
Or, "Do you want to talk about it?"
And just hearing those words can already make the feeling lighter.
I think that's because sadness feels heavier when we carry it alone.
Absolutely. When we share it, even briefly, it becomes easier to hold.
I remember one evening I felt quietly sad after work, even though the day wasn't bad. I didn't really know why. I almost kept it to myself, but then I sent a short message to a friend saying, "Can we talk for a few minutes?" We didn't solve anything, but after that call, the feeling felt smaller.
That's such a perfect example. Nothing magical happened, but the weight changed.
Yes. The problem stayed, but I wasn't alone with it anymore.
And that's an important message for learners. You don't need a deep conversation every time.
Sometimes 10 minutes is enough.
Or even one honest sentence.
Another thing I want to say is this. Sharing sadness doesn't mean you're negative.
It means you're human.
And it also doesn't mean you need the other person to fix you.
Right. Listening is often more helpful than advice.
That's why simple phrases work so well.
Phrases like, "I'm here for you," or "That sounds really hard."
They don't push, they just stay.
And staying is powerful.
I agree, but I also think talking isn't always the first step for everyone.
That's true. Some people need a little quiet time before they're ready to share.
So if you're learning English and you feel sad, don't wait for perfect words.
Start small. Start simple.
One sentence, one person.
And notice how the feeling changes, not disappears, but softens.
That softening is already a kind of healing. After sharing sadness with someone, there's another important skill we should talk about.
Yes, learning how to respond when someone else is feeling sad.
This can feel even harder than talking about your own feelings.
Especially in English. Many learners worry, what if I say the wrong thing?
Or what if my words make it worse?
That fear is very understandable. But the good news is, you don't need perfect words.
In fact, simple and kind sentences are usually the best.
Exactly. When someone shares sadness, they are not asking for a solution.
They're asking to be heard.
So the first and most helpful response is often very small.
Something like, "I'm sorry to hear that."
That sentence does a lot of work. It shows you care.
And it shows you're listening.
Another helpful sentence is, That sounds really hard.
You're not judging. You're not comparing.
You're simply recognizing their feeling.
I think many people feel pressure to give advice right away.
Yes, but advice can wait. Connection comes first.
Sometimes advice isn't needed at all.
Just being present is enough.
Another gentle question you can ask is, do you want to talk about it?
This question is powerful because it gives the other person a choice.
They can say yes or no.
And both answers are okay.
That's an important point. Supporting someone doesn't mean pushing them to talk.
It means respecting their pace.
I also like the sentence, I'm here for you.
Me too. It's simple but very comforting.
It doesn't promise to fix anything.
It just promises presence.
And presence is often what people need most when they feel sad.
For English learners, these sentences are very useful because they are short and natural.
You can remember them easily and use them in many situations.
With friends, classmates, coworkers, or family.
And when you use them, you're not only practicing English.
You're also practicing empathy.
That's something every language learner needs.
So if someone shares a sad moment with you, take a breath.
You don't need a speech.
Just one kind sentence can be enough.
And that small moment of kindness can make a big difference. After we talk about sharing sadness and supporting others, there's another gentle question we should explore.
Yes? What can you do for yourself after a sad moment?
This part is very personal because what helps one person may not help another.
Exactly. There is no single right way to feel better.
And that's important for learners to hear. You don't need to copy anyone else.
You just need to notice what helps you.
Sometimes people think feeling better means feeling happy right away.
But often, it just means feeling a little calmer.
Or feeling less heavy than before.
Yes, even a small change is meaningful.
One thing many people find helpful is music.
Music is powerful. It connects directly to emotions.
Some people like happy, energetic songs.
And others start with sad music first.
That surprises some learners.
But it makes sense. Sad music can help you feel understood.
This is like the song is saying, you're not alone.
Exactly. And after that, switching to lighter music can gently lift your mood.
Another helpful habit is writing.
Yes, writing in a journal or diary.
This is especially good for English learners.
You don't need long sentences or perfect grammar.
You can write things like, today, I feel tired and sad.
Or, I feel disappointed because my plan changed.
Writing helps you slow down your thoughts.
And when thoughts slow down, feelings often feel clearer.
Some people feel better through movement.
Like going for a short walk.
Or stretching or just standing up and moving a little.
You don't need a big workout.
Even 10 minutes outside can help.
Fresh air and quiet space can change how a day feels.
There are also very simple comforts.
Like drinking a warm cup of tea.
Or taking a short nap.
Sleep is often underrated.
When you're tired, sadness feels stronger.
Rest doesn't fix everything, but it supports you.
And I think the most important idea here is kindness to yourself.
Yes, many people are very gentle with friends, but very hard on themselves.
They tell themselves, I shouldn't feel this way.
But feelings don't work like that.
A kinder sentence is, it's okay to feel this today.
That sentence alone can bring relief.
So after a sad moment, don't rush.
Choose one small thing that feels caring.
And remember, taking care of yourself is also part of learning English for real life. After we talk about ways to take care of ourselves, there's one more idea that really helps many learners.
Yes, understanding that sadness doesn't stay forever.
When you're inside a sad moment, it can feel very strong.
Sometimes it even feels like it will never end.
But feelings move. They change over time.
This is something people often forget when emotions are heavy.
I like to think of sadness as something temporary, not permanent.
That idea alone can bring comfort.
You don't have to push sadness away.
And you don't have to rush it either.
When we try to force ourselves to be happy, it often backfires.
Yes, telling yourself don't be sad usually makes the feeling louder.
A gentler approach is simply to notice the feeling.
You can say, I feel sad right now.
Not forever, just right now.
That small word, right now, changes everything.
It reminds you that time is still moving.
And you are moving with it, even if slowly.
Many learners worry that talking about sadness will make it stronger.
But often, the opposite is true.
When you name the feeling and accept it, it softens.
It becomes something you can sit with, not something that controls you.
This is also helpful when learning English,
How so?
because language gives shape to feelings.
Yes, when feelings have words, they feel less chaotic.
Even simple words can create that sense of order.
Sad, tired, lonely. These words help you understand yourself.
And understanding brings calm.
I think it's important to remind learners that sadness doesn't erase joy.
That's a beautiful point.
You can feel sad today and still have good days ahead.
Both things can be true at the same time.
Just like the weather.
Yes, some days are cloudy.
But the sun doesn't disappear.
It's still there behind the clouds.
That image helps many people.
So if you're listening and feeling sad right now, remember this.
This feeling is real, but it is not the whole story.
It will change.
And you don't have to face it alone.
We've covered many ideas today, but the heart of this lesson is very simple.
Sadness is normal, and English can help us talk about it gently.
Today's lesson wasn't about removing sadness from life.
It was about giving sadness a voice in simple English,
We learned that sad moments are normal.
and that they don't always come from big problems.
Sometimes they come from small changes, small losses, or quiet feelings.
We also learned that we don't need perfect words to talk about them.
Short, honest sentences are enough.
I feel a bit sad.
I had a bad day.
I feel lonely today,
These sentences may look small.
but they carry real meaning.
We also practiced how to respond when someone else feels sad.
Listening, being present, and using kind words.
Not fixing, not judging.
Just staying.
And we talked about ways to care for ourselves after sad moments.
Music, writing, rest, movement, and kindness to yourself.
Most importantly, we remembered that sadness is not permanent.
It comes and goes.
And when we accept it, it often becomes easier to carry.
If you're listening right now and thinking, this feels familiar,
You're not alone.
many people feel this way, even if they don't say it out loud.
So here's a small invitation for you.
Today or this week, try using one sentence from this lesson in real life.
You can say it out loud, write it in a message, or write it just for yourself.
It doesn't have to be shared with anyone else.
But notice how it feels to put the feeling into words.
That moment matters.
And if you feel comfortable, you can also share a sentence in the comments.
Not to be perfect, just to be real.
This is a place to practice English and practice being human.
We're really glad you're here with us.
Thank you for spending this time together.
Take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next lesson.
Before we move on, I'd like to slow things down and stay with this idea of caring for yourself after sadness.
Yes, because for many learners, this part is easy to understand, but hard to actually do.
Exactly. People often know what could help, but they don't give themselves permission to do it.
Especially when life is busy or when they feel guilty for resting.
That guilt shows up a lot.
It does. Some people think, I shouldn't feel sad, or I should be stronger.
But those thoughts can make sadness heavier.
That's why habits matter. Small, repeatable habits.
Not big changes, just gentle routines.
For example, choosing one thing you always do when the day feels heavy,
Like making tea and sitting quietly for 5 minutes.
or writing just one sentence before bed.
Even something as simple as taking 3 slow breaths.
These actions send a message to your body and mind. I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking care of myself.
And that message is powerful?
It also connects nicely with English practice,
How so?
because you can turn these habits into simple English sentences.
Like language paired with action.
Exactly. While making tea, you can say, I'm tired today.
While writing, you can write, I feel a bit sad, but I'm okay.
These sentences don't need an audience.
They're for you.
And when English becomes part of your emotional routine, it feels less like a school subject.
It becomes part of your life.
Another important point is consistency.
Doing something small regularly helps more than doing something big once.
Yes, one walk won't change everything.
But many small walks can slowly change how you feel.
The same is true for language.
One sentence won't make you fluent.
But many small sentences build confidence.
So sadness doesn't stop learning.
Sometimes it actually deepens it.
It's like learning English while walking through real life, not sitting in a classroom.
That's a beautiful way to think about it.
So if you're listening, maybe ask yourself this tonight.
What is one small thing I can do to be kind to myself?
And if you want, try putting that answer into one simple English sentence.
That's enough for today.
As we get closer to the end of today's lesson, there's one more gentle idea I'd like to share.
Yes, this is about how sadness can actually help us learn, not stop us.
That might sound surprising at first.
But think about it. We often remember language better when it's connected to real feelings.
Exactly. When words are linked to emotions, they stay with us longer.
A sentence you use during a sad moment often feels more meaningful.
And meaningful language is easier to remember than random examples.
That's why emotional topics are so powerful for learning English.
They're not just practice, they're personal.
For example, if you once said, I felt lonely last night.
That sentence belongs to your life, not a textbook.
And because it belongs to you, you're more likely to remember it.
I think this helps learners stop being afraid of emotional topics.
Yes, sadness doesn't block learning.
It can actually open a deeper door.
Another thing I notice is that emotional language helps with listening too.
How so?
When you know these words, you understand others better.
You can hear the difference between I'm tired and I feel lonely,
And that understanding builds empathy.
which is a big part of real communication.
Exactly. English isn't just about information.
It's about connection.
And when learners feel connected, they feel more confident.
Confidence changes how people speak,
They speak more naturally.
and they worry less about being perfect.
That's when real progress happens.
So if today's topic felt a little emotional for you,
That's not a problem.
it might actually mean you were learning deeply.
Learning with feeling is learning that lasts.
And that's exactly what we hope for you. Okay, before we finish today, I think it's important to pause and look at the bigger picture.
Yes, because this lesson was never just about vocabulary,
It was about giving space to feelings that people often hide.
especially when they're learning a new language.
Many learners think English is only for strong topics: work, travel, success.
But real life isn't like that. Real life has quiet days, heavy moments, and mixed emotions.
And English should be able to hold all of that.
Exactly. When you can talk about sadness, you're using English in a very real way.
You're not performing.
You're connecting.
We talked about small sadness, bigger sadness, and everything in between.
We talked about saying how you feel.
And also about listening when someone else shares.
That balance is important.
Because language is not only about expressing yourself.
It's also about making room for others.
I really hope listeners understand this part.
Me too. You don't need perfect English to be kind.
And you don't need perfect words, to be honest.
One sentence can be enough.
Sometimes even one word is enough.
What matters is the intention behind it.
And the courage to speak even when you don't feel your best.
If today's lesson felt a little emotional, that's okay.
It means you were present.
And presence is a big part of learning.
So as we close, let's leave you with a small, gentle challenge.
Not homework, just an invitation.
Sometime in the next few days, notice one honest feeling you have.
It doesn't have to be sadness. It can be calm, tired, or unsure.
Try to describe that feeling in one simple English sentence.
You can say it out loud, write it down, or keep it just for yourself.
There's no need to share it unless you want to.
But if you do feel like sharing, this space is open.
You can leave a short sentence below and see how it feels.
Not to impress anyone.
Just to practice being real.
Learning a language takes time.
And learning to speak honestly takes time too.
So be patient with yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
And remember, you're not learning alone.
We're happy you spent this time with us today.
Thank you for listening and for being part of this quiet conversation.
Take good care of yourself.
And we'll meet you again in the next episode.